What's up, y'all? Will here with Schedulefly, and this is the Restaurant Owners Uncorked podcast brought to you by Schedulefly, simple web-based restaurant employee scheduling software backed by legendary customer service and all at a low price point. We are not backed by VC bros and private equity folks, so we do not have to base our prices on what they tell us we have to charge. We base it on what we'd like to charge. And we've not raised our prices in 18 years of business, and we're proud of that. So simple software, great service, low price point, schedulefly.com. If you're on pencil and paper or Excel, make life easier for you. Heck, make it easier for your team. Does your team want to come in and have to get a paper schedule or get a screenshot of an Excel spreadsheet emailed to them? Your staff would probably love to have an app that tells them when they're working, that enables them to offer up their shifts for shift trades, and that enables them to communicate with other team members, that allows you to communicate with them and have it all in the palm of their hand on their phone with a free app. So it's an employee benefit, if nothing else. Schedulefly.com, 30-day free trial, monthly pricing, no BS, no other fees, and my personal cell phone number is right there on the website on like 3 pages, schedulefly.com. Check it out. Okay, we're going to try something different. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to read an article that I wrote called What Independent Restaurant Owners Are Doing Right in 2025. And this is the first of a series of articles on that topic. What are people doing right in 2025? This comes from content that we have created on this podcast this year, right? So one of the things that we are thinking through is how do we turn Restaurant Owners Uncorked into its own media business? I mean, right now we have a great podcast, and the podcast is great because we have great guests and people that own restaurants that come on here and share their highs and their lows, their challenges, their lessons learned, their advice, their wisdom. And listening to the podcast is one great way to absorb that content. But how do you pull it all together, right? And we thought, well, why don't we start pulling it all together? Why don't we start writing articles of lessons and advice on specific topics of how owners that we talk to are solving for problems that they're facing in running their businesses. And so this series of articles then led me to start thinking, we really ought to have a place where people can come and learn from other restaurant owners, not just listen to long podcast episodes, but read articles, watch films, watch live events, watch, town halls, all this kind of stuff, right? So we're thinking through now, how do we turn Restaurant Owners Uncorked into a media business? Stay tuned on that. That's not an easy overnight thing, but it is something we're working on and planning towards. In the meantime, I want to read this article because you can get this article at substack.schedulefly.com. Excuse me, I said that wrong. Schedulefly.substack.com. That's our Substack page, and that's where this article is written, but maybe you prefer to listen. So I'm going to read this article. And do know that we'd love for you to follow us at schedulefly.substack.com. We're posting a lot of content that we learn from restaurant owners there. Again, stay tuned on that because we'll ultimately have a Restaurant Owners Uncorked site, Substack, all that kind of stuff. All right, so here we go. This will be a short episode, but hopefully a highly impactful one. So this article is titled, What Independent Restaurant Owners Are Doing Right in 2025. New series featuring lessons from our Restaurant Owners Uncorked podcast. Introduction. A podcast serving those who serve. And I'm actually going to skip the introduction. That kind of talks about our podcast. And I'm going to kind of get right to the meat of this. And this is part 1 of this series, which is People First Leadership. Culture over everything. So here we go. If one message has been loud and clear this year, it's that great restaurants are built on people. Time and again, owners stress that investing in your team and leading with empathy is the surest path to success. In episode 603, Ross Davis from RevMex in Oklahoma City reflected on his 29-year journey from a Gordon Ramsay-style manager to a more intelligent leader. Quote, "Old school yelling and screaming management styles no longer work. Modern leadership requires calm, adaptability, and care." End quote. Ross emphasized that great restaurants thrive on culture, consistency, and caring people, not just money or expansion. In practice, that means hiring for an attitude over experience, mentoring staff, and fostering a strong, fun, intentional staff culture that guests can feel as soon as they walk in. This people-first philosophy was a recurring theme across the podcast this year so far. In episode 580, we drilled down to the heart of hospitality with Michael DiPaolo, Hospitality Director of Square Roots Collective, who argued that hospitality at its core is about making people feel welcome, both guests and employees. Drawing on his time with Danny Meyer's Union Square Hospitality Group, DiPaolo noted that treating staff well leads to better customer service and that hiring for cultural fit and a servant's heart matters more than technical skills. Quote, "Successful hospitality requires a genuine love for the industry." End quote. Michael said this, adding that independent restaurants thrive by creating a positive environment for their team and community. In short, empathetic leadership isn't soft. It's smart business. Many operators described how prioritizing culture has paid off. Greg Doolin, whose family's Doolin's on Crenshaw restaurant serves soul food and has served Los Angeles for 50 years, shared that building a strong team is crucial for restaurant success, especially in challenging times. He's proud that his company offers, quote, "first opportunities and second chances," end quote, to employees, helping them grow. In episode 579, Rick Gruber of Billy Bricks, a family-run pizza group, likewise attributed low staff turnover to a humble, quote, "no ego," end quote, leadership style, where the owners have done every job from mopping floors on up. Team loyalty at Billy Bricks, he says, comes from shared values, mutual respect, and leaders willing to roll up their sleeves. The result? Decades-long employee tenures and a culture of building trust within the team. These are tangible assets that no amount of capital can buy. Owners also emphasized leading by example and service. Manish Goyal, co-founder of New York City's Passerine, and this is in episode 597, believes that strong leadership, visibility, consistent communication, and a clear sense of purpose are essential to inspire hospitality teams. He and partner Alvina Buxani built their restaurant's team culture very intentionally, drawing on lessons from Danny Meyer's book Setting the Table and Will Guidara's book Unreasonable Hospitality to ensure that staff feel part of something meaningful. Meanwhile, in Tampa Bay, Sean Marsiglia, episode 596, runs multiple pizzerias and cafes with the mantra of culture over talent. Hire people with good attitudes and build a positive team culture rather than chasing rock star chefs with big egos. Sean credits this approach plus his genuine care for employees with helping his restaurants bounce back after crises, like a fire that shut down his flagship location for 31 months. Even as technology creeps into hospitality, these owners insist the human touch is irreplaceable. Or Peleg, who operates 6 kosher restaurants in Los Angeles, this is episode 600, has invested in tech tools like AI answering, but he maintains high staffing levels in a hands-on service style, refusing to replace people with kiosks. Quote, "exceptional service and experience, not just food quality, are key to customer loyalty," end quote. Peleg says this, noting that personalized hospitality is his group's competitive edge. His conviction, even in a tech-driven world, hospitality must remain people first, not automation first. From these stories, a portrait emerges of 21st century hospitality leadership. Empathetic, team-oriented, humble, purpose-driven. It's about serving your employees so they can serve your guests. As Ross Hester, owner of Good Day Cafe and Bar Muse in Oxford, Mississippi, put it in episode 593, quote, "Leadership is about serving employees and leading by example. Hospitality is a team sport that requires everyone to contribute," end quote. By cultivating that mentality, independent restaurateurs are not only creating better workplaces, they're creating the kind of authentic guest experience that no chain or app can replicate. That is the end of our piece. Great lessons in there. The next in the series, which we have posted and we will record here soon, is part 2, and it's called Brand Storytelling. So if you would, give us a rating on this podcast. I've been mentioning this on every episode, and I'll keep mentioning it. Please give us a 5-star rating on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen. It helps get this content in front of more people. Y'all are awesome. We appreciate you. We hope that this new short, condensed series of sort of a combination of various lessons learned will be valuable. I think this is a 6 or 7 part series as we have it mapped out, so stay tuned for more. Thank you. We appreciate you, and have a good one. See you.